Hey yo guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to go and discuss this actual shortage that I was talking about maybe 2 days ago, but funny enough, it was actually from a completely different source, and this is actually brand new information, more so based on the actual AMD CEO, and it relates very heavily into the PS5 and Xbox in terms of the actual supply shortages and how long it's going to last, etc. So this is kind of just for all the naysayers on that last video who are saying, hey, Scrubbin, your cap. No, I feel like this actually is very actually important to know, especially if you guys are still trying to get a console, your friends are trying to get a console, etc, etc. As well, so I guess we'll kind of talk about it, show up the article, and actually discuss all this on the channel itself. As well, on top of that, too, a lot of you guys like to loaf, so we're going to bring back loaf for this video over here, so definitely leave a like for loaf. If any of you guys are brand new to the channel, if you guys want to, we are giving away a PS5, especially if you guys are still having issues trying to go find any restock. And also, our channel's been kind of focused on the restocking stuff, but I'm also trying to work in more fun news stuff and analytical stuff and gaming news as well. Mainly as people keep on getting the consoles, I want to try to make more videos that you guys can actually go and watch that are not just like, hey, check on Amazon, check on Target. So hope you guys will enjoy these types of stuff and my commentary. And as always, leave your comments and thoughts down below. Leave a like if you guys enjoy these videos. If you guys are still trying to go get an actual console, check down below. The Amazon restock is overdue, so we always have that link down below if you guys want to go and check. The Twitter and Twitch stream, if you guys are interested in following me and interacting with me more, definitely follow the Twitter though as well for restocking news or just overall general channel news. And of course, we have the Weeble. If you guys want to get in the crazy madhouse of stocks, or go and sign up for Weeble. If you guys deposit $100, you guys go get 4 stocks and like $25 for free. Always linked down below. A lot of you guys have signed up for that because of all the crazy shenanigans going on here. And of course, Coinbase, you guys buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go get free Bitcoin as well. So let's get actually into the video itself. So we talked about this a little bit on like around 2 days ago or so, where I was saying a lot of the consoles are going to be having a lot of stock issues, mainly because the actual production's been having issues, and even the Xbox CEOs and CFOs were basically saying, hey, we are going to be seeing this supply shortage going on for the next 2 months, almost without a doubt. So that was all based more on the Xbox news and Xbox situations going on in terms of their production side. So now, as the past 1 or 2 days, we've actually had AMD, which is basically, if you guys don't know, the GPU that is, well, they make normal computer GPUs, but also one of the main heads for actually getting the GPUs for the actual consoles, you know, producing the consoles for the actual PS5 and Xbox Series X and S's. So they've actually kind of came out with some actual information. So let's go dive on into it. We'll have our speculation. And this kind of goes and supports up the point that I actually made a few days ago that some people were like, Scrubbing, that's not going to happen. So this is also a bit of a naysayer kind of rubbing in your face for anyone who thought that was not true. But overall, it kind of leads into the fact that they're still having production issues, and that leads into them making less consoles, aka less PS5s and Xboxes, and that also leads in towards still having all these supply issues for probably the next like 6 months. They keep on saying at least until end of quarter 2. So let's go dive into this article itself over here from IGN. I'll give you my thoughts right afterwards as well. So despite, I'm going to go and actually move up the webcam over here. I know we might have Loaf be a little bit more smaller, but that's okay. I actually like this angle from reading these articles. So despite AMD's record-breaking 2020, it anticipates PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC chip shortages to last throughout at least the first half of 2021. Which, by the way, your boy was right, just saying, all the naysayers. I have to stop saying that. People are going to be like, no one likes a gloater scrubbing it. As reported by Tom's Hardware, AMD recently held its Q4 2020 earnings call, and AMD's president and CEO Lisa Su discussed these shortages in response to an investor asking about the magnitude of supply constraints due to growth and the COVID-19 pandemic. So basically, growth is more in regards to the actual consoles themselves, like so many people trying to buy the PS5 and Xbox, as well as also in terms of the pandemic and due to, like, you know, actually having supply chain issues, making them in the first place, keep on producing them in the first place, the tariff costs that we've talked about a lot on the channel, aka the 25% tariff, as well as also the actual supply movement chain of sending stuff, say, from China to America, the delays on that in terms of all that, the extra cleaning for the pandemic, etc., etc. So while AMD saw a strong revenue ramp, which is good for business because they have the potential to make money in the future, the issue too as well is that they're also still having issues meeting demand. So overall demand exceeded our planning. As a result, there were supply constraints near the end of the year in the PC market, which we saw a lot in terms of the CPUs and GPUs, low-end PC market, which is also true again with all the Ryzen CPUs, in the gaming markets, as well as I'm sure all of you guys have noticed with the PS5 and Xbox restocking. Sue also discussed how this means she expects chip shortages in the first half of 2021, which would be directly related towards all the restocks, as AMD works to improve supply, but she reassures that there is an added capacity in the second half of 2021 that should hopefully help, which is actually very good for us because that kind of gives us like the light at the end of the tunnel that either for GPUs and consoles that we actually have a chance to be able to go and use these and get these and play the games and actually get our consoles, you know, not have to watch restock videos like mine all the time. And that's why I can't wait to make normal videos again too. I love doing the restocks, I love helping people, but there's so much stuff I want to talk about. So maybe this weekend we'll try to put a little bit more of a focus on non-restock news so you guys can have some other videos. And so we do see some tightness throughout the first half of the year, but there's also added capacity in the second half, which is nice. So basically, once we're kind of into the June, July markets, we'll have a chance to actually have more stock. And then as in terms of how we think about these things, so for our full year annual guide, we do have good visibility on both the demand side and supply side, and that was the basis for the guidance across the business, which is also really nice too as well, because as you guys know, as more people get the consoles, aka the PS5s and Xboxes, that means that number one, scalper demand goes down, so that means prices go down, and it also means that if there's less scalpers making money on every console, there's less hardcore demand on scalpers always instantly buying out the stock for all these consoles. Think Walmart, Best Buy, Target, which also then once again leaves all more available stock for everyone, which also means that even then scalping goes down even more, and eventually we're pretty much just at the pure like we just only focus on the normal stock itself. Like just walk in the store and get it. Sue previously spoke to Xbox head Phil Spencer as AMC produces the CPU and GPU of the Xbox Series X and S, and both teams are working as hard as they can to meet demand on the next-gen consoles. Last year, Microsoft's CFO Tim Stewart has cautioned that these shortages continued throughout the first quarter of 2021. So that's basically us right now until March for the next 2 months or so, give or take. So that's pretty much about it for the article itself. As you guys have been seeing, we are definitely for sure seeing the shortages still going on here too as well. I did go make an also note on for both of these. When it came on the video I mentioned before, is that a lot of these major business heads are basically saying we're going to be out of stock, and I feel bad because I think my out of stock was clickbait. More so, will be very hard to find the stock, and more so, I thought the out of stock was just a better clickbait title in my opinion. But in terms of that, it's like it usually will be out of stock in terms of day to day getting it. So as you guys have been seeing, both Xbox has more so confirmed that we're going to be having issues for the next 3 to 4 months. But on the bright side, it's kind of like the end of the tunnel, where we will have a chance to go and see more supply showing up in the next 3 to 5 months. Now, hopefully, as we keep on getting restocks, as I mentioned, people will keep on getting more and more consoles, so there's going to be less demand to actually get them in general, and that terms it means it'll be easier for everyone to go get. But as also with AMD still having issues and saying that, even publicly, stating that they're still having so many supply chain issues of actually moving all the stock and getting all the stock, that's one of the harder parts, because that takes a while. And it's kind of like it's like everyone's still trying to get inside a door. Once everyone's trying to get inside the door and trying to get the consoles, no one gets through the door. But once it kind of goes and evens that out and one person goes at a time, aka just more supply is actually out there, it's easier for everyone to get the consoles. So right now, AMD just has to keep on ramping up the actual production for all the actual circuitry, CPUs, and GPUs mixed on in. And I think as time goes on, as the demand goes down more, and they don't have to go and have these constant once a week, twice a week, or once every other week, depending on the store retailer, restocking, then it makes everything so much easier to actually go and, well, to get the consoles. So right now, AMD is still in the hardcore point where they're just trying their best to make as much as they can, produce as much as they can, and until that is actually fixed in the next later half of this year, probably say around June, July time, then that is the major issue until that is solved. So hopefully AMD can actually figure it out. Thankfully, in terms of what they've said in their earnings calls and talking to investors and being a little bit more in detail with their roadmaps, as they mentioned even in this article, they probably have a rough idea of the overall consumer needs for all the consoles. So the PlayStation 5 and Xboxes. So ideally, they are as of right now either have been ramping up production or have been very steady in production, hoping that the actual quantity needed goes down. So I do think overall this is kind of good for everyone. More so for us because, as I mentioned, as we keep on getting more stock, it'll be easier for us to go and get less scalpers, etc. But also the fact that places like AMD and the Xbox heads know that there is going to be stock issues in general, so they've been trying their best to fix on it and work on it. as well as I mentioned too, a lot of this stuff is kind of tied to the actual shipping of all this stuff, because that also has a lot of delays mixed in with the pandemic, because it's harder to go move all the supply pretty much everywhere, which stinks because we want our consoles. So sometimes there's even like one or 2 week shipping delays to actually move all this stock. Or also it mixed into with the tariffs as well, which I'm sure if the tariffs were dealt with, the 25% tariff on all electronics, which we did for sure see on all the actual GPUs, and we do also think that affects up the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S still. Once that is all more so taken care of as well, it makes everything a lot easier for everyone to go and produce the stock and also make the stock at a profitable time too as well. AKA they would make enough money to actually keep on producing all this and going from there. So overall, I think this is very good for us. It's kind of like it's like a bittersweet. Number one, it's bad because for the next like 2 to 4 months, it will still be hard for us to get the consoles. I'm sure you guys know in terms of watching the videos, watching the restock videos, etc. So that's not good. We all want to have our consoles. We want to play with our consoles. We want to enjoy the consoles in general. But on the bright side, and the better half of that is, with more people understanding that there is supply issues, the main figureheads and CEOs of these companies can keep on trying to work out better solutions to produce more stuff for everyone here to actually go and make all this stuff in general. So that'll be good, very good. And they also do have a somewhat definitive roadmap, as they mentioned, probably more on the tail end of Q2, early Q3, so around June to August range. Then probably everyone will be able to go into stores in person and physically go and get the consoles themselves. So I think that's good. It's both good and bad. It's bad that we're still having the issues, still having supply issues, but very good that we have the light at the end of the tunnel and we can actually go and, see the stock. So maybe one thing I'll do for this video is maybe I'll try to go put a nice positive swing on the title. My last one's out of stock for a while, and then maybe we can kind of go and say like maybe it's good news for the restock itself. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll kind of keep on keeping the doom and gloom for the titles as well. But overall, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, of course. Subscribe if you guys kind of like this type of tech news and talking news, etc. These are definitely the types of videos I would like to make more in the future as well when it comes to gaming news and tech news and stuff like that. Because when it comes to all this, there's so much to talk about and so much to analyze and so much to see, and I would love to make more videos discussing topics like this. So if you guys like these types of videos, please definitely let me know. Leave a comment down below if you guys do dig these as well, especially if you guys made it all the way through on here, because I love talking about stuff and letting my opinion be known, and I do sometimes think topics like these are really, really fun to talk about and kind of just bring on up in general just for gaming news and gaming stuff overall. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this type of stuff. We'll still be doing the restocks as of now, but I do like all this gaming news in general, so if you guys don't mind. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are brand new, and put on the notifications for the PS5 giveaway we have going on right now. All you have to do to be entered is go and subscribe. We had a restock video with Amazon earlier on today if you guys want to check that out, and we may also have some more GameStop and other random stuff like that throughout the next few days if you guys are curious and interested in all of that. We'll probably maybe have some GameStop videos tonight as well. And on top of that too, we have the Twitter and Twitch stream. Follow those both down below if you guys want to be up to date with me. I do play games on Twitch all the time as well. Also on Twitter, I like to just tweet about random stuff, restocks, or just overall gaming news or whatever. And on top of that too as well, make sure you guys sign up for Weeble. You guys go and deposit $100 and you guys go get a bunch of free stocks. You can basically make free money. You guys can get into the GameStop, the Teslas, the whatever you guys want to go do, AMCs, or you guys can also go and buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency with Coinbase and go and get free money as well. You basically get free Bitcoin. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you guys all so much for everything. Leave your opinions down below if you guys made it this far. You guys are all fantastic. I'll see you guys all throughout the next few days for sure, up on Twitch in general or on the YouTube channel as well. We'll probably have a lot of videos throughout the next weekend for sure. I appreciate you guys all so much for existing and watching and everything. You guys are all fantastic, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and Loaf says goodbye too as well.